Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I create a content about healthcare professionals. Did you know that 90% of communications is a non-verbal? Imagine how much we convey without saying a word. In today's lectures, we are going to talk about that communication. It's very important for nursing students. They'll be trying to understand the easy concept of process of communication, levels of communication, what are the types of communication, what are the methods used for effective communication. So in this session, first we will discuss what is that communication, the art of transmitting information, ideas and attitudes from one person to another person. So it is a transfer of information from one person to another person. It may be a verbal, it may be a non-verbal, it may be a using of words, letters, body language, all those things will come under one kind of communication. It's a process of meaningful interaction. It is an interaction among human beings. So communication is a process of meaningful interaction among human beings. So this definition is given by John. So what is the process of communication? So process is a big elements of communication. So first is a sender. They will be sending a message through encoding. The message is decoded by the receiver. The receiver sending a feedback to the sender. So this will be a complete process of communication. But the sender, who is the sender? So sender is the process start with the sender. The sender is a person that is going to transmitting a message. They will be trying to communicate. They will be decide to start a communication. That is sender. What is the encoding? How are you going to communicate? It is based on sender choice. It may be a verbal, non-verbal, eye contact, all those things using a specific objectives. So selection of specific signs or symbols. That is encoding. What is my message? It is a piece of information. What is the sender? Is relaying to send receiver. So what is the channel? What is the channel? The medium used to convey a message. Receiver, who is the recipient of the message. Decoder, the process of interpreting and understanding a message. So that is trying to understand, access the message. So receiver is a recipient of the message. Decoder, the process of action is complete with that feedback. The response and information or reaction by the receiver, they will be sending to the sender. The feedback is a response or information and reaction by the receiver to the sender is a feedback. As the feedback is reached the sender, the communication process will end. So noise, any disturbances in the interpretation of communication, that is noise. That will be discussed in next video, that is in barriers of communication. Now we will move on to levels of communication. We have 4 levels. That is intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, small group communication, organizational communication. What is the intrapersonal communication? It is the communication that happens within the individual. There will be self-talk that is more personal to the person. It is maybe close relationship. The close relationship considered as spouse, parents and children. That is intrapersonal communication. What is the interpersonal communication? It occurs between 2 or more peoples with a goal to exchange a message or information through verbal or non-verbal. That is interpersonal relationship or interpersonal communication. What is my small group communication? Interaction between 3 or more peoples. The example is a friends. Small group friends communication. What is my organizational communication? Communication that takes place between people who are working towards common goals within the organization. That is organizational communications. Now we will discuss about types of communication. What is the types? We have 6 types. That is verbal communication, non-verbal communication, formal communication, informal communication, one-way communication and two-way communication. What is meant by verbal communication? It is the using of words. It may be through spoken or written, oral, or sending a message or mail to the letter. All those things will be a written communication. What is in non-verbal communication? The information is transmitted through without using words. It may be a body language, eye contact, gesture, way of dressing, posture. All those things will be examples for non-verbal communication. Next we will be discuss about formal communication. What is that formal communication? It is a communication structured communication based on the hierarchy, accountability, and authority. We need to ask a permission. It will be used in school, college, office. All those things will be a formal communication. What is informal communication? It is very less structured communication, spontaneous communication. We are using day-to-day life communication. So using a informal communication with our family, friends, public places, all those things will be informal communication. One-way communication. One-way communication. What is the one-way communication? Is characterized by absence of feedback from the receiver. They'll be sending the message. They didn't bother about the feedback. That is one-way communication. They'll be sending the message. They'll be given order to the another individual. That is one-way communication. Two-way communication. So involves the active feedback from the receiver to the sender to ensure that receiver has understood the communication. It is using of words through oral or written. That is verbal communication. Non-verbal communication without using of words through body language, eye contact, touch, body posture. All those things will be a non-verbal communication. Formal communication, structured hierarchy basis communication, structured basis communication, upward communication, downward communication, horizontal communication. So informal communication, no need to ask the permission. That is within family members. One-way communication, they'll be sending a message. They didn't bother about the receiving. So giving a ads is a one-way communication. So ordering is a one-way communication. Two-way communication. So sender receiving by attentive listening. So methods of effective communication, that is therapeutic communication, attentive listening, physical attending skill, rapport building, empathy skill, interviewing skill, cultural awareness. What is the therapeutic communication? So we are in healthcare professionals. We know that therapeutic communication is very important. So promote understanding and help to establish a constructive relationship between the nurse and the client. So it is a deal with their feelings. So therapeutic communication is a goal-directed communication. So attentive listening. What is attentive listening? Is an active process required energy for concentration. So we are paying the attention to the total message. It may be a verbal or non-verbal. We need to actively involve with the communication. What is my physical attending skill? Face the person, maintain a good posture, trying to be relatively relaxed, maintain a good eye contact. That is all physical attending skill. What is the rapport building skill? Yes, we are nurses, very important. Rapport building skill is very important. So it's a feeling of mutual trust are experienced by the people, satisfactory relationship. So it may be maintaining a comfortable environment. What is the empathy? So empathy is identifying the way another person feels, that is feel the same emotion out to the opposite person. So interviewing skill, the purpose of interviewing skill is very important to get a accurate information. The information begins with an explanation and purposes of interview. It is validating question, clarifying question, reflection, summarizing, assertiveness skill. Also all those things will be comes under interviewing skill. What does mean by cultural awareness? If we are in nurses, so we need to maintain a good communication with that patient. So we should be known about that cultural needs of the patient. That is very helpful for effective communication. Next, we will be move on to 7 C's of effective communication. What is the 7 C's of effective communication? That is principles of communication. First one is a clear information we need to be give and to the sender what the sender trying to convey the message. What is the concise? Point out the message. All unnecessary items we need to remove that. So telling a elimination of unnecessary stories. So concrete, we should be in the information missioner, good correct information, needed information we need to transfer from the sender to the receiver. Coherent, that is must be in specific, not a vague information. So the completeness information should be in adequate and complete information we need to give. Courtesy, it is a friendly and polite manner we need to convey the message, that is courtesy. So must be in understand their emotions, that is courtesy. Thank you so much for active listening. Stay tuned for more videos in our nursing lecture series where we cover crucial topic related to nursing. It will help remember the key points for your exams. Thank you.